G'day, it's Thursday the 13th of August, late afternoon. My name's Adam. You're watching an announcement for the St Augustine's Anglican Church Inverell Church family. Greetings. As we advised previously, there was no AGM this year. It's still necessary for us to provide reports to the registry. The bulk of those reports are financial reports. They were tabled or they were circulated at Parish Council, since ratified, and we're happy to share them electronically or by paper. Tomorrow morning is a good time to come in and collect those if you want them. If you want them electronically, please flick an email to us and we will send them on to you. Don't reshare or recirculate them, please. It's sensitive information, their financial statements. Thanks for your cooperation on that. Normally, when we have an AGM, we have the joy of Bill sharing the Treasurer's report with us. We don't want you to miss out on that. So Bill's going to get into the lectern and he's going to present the financial statements and the budget for you, for your consideration. As Bill speaks, you might want to have a copy of the paperwork in front of you. But so here's Bill.
Greetings everybody. Welcome to my annual Treasurer's Report for the last financial year. Firstly, let me talk about our mission giving report. Our total mission giving for the year was $21,935. If we deduct the extraordinary payment of $5,000 that was paid to missions from the proceeds of the sale of Gilgai Church in the previous financial year, our mission giving this year was down by only about 2%. I feel this is a tremendous effort, considering that mission giving in the last quarter of this financial year fell dramatically due to COVID-19. I'd like to encourage everyone to continue using the mission side of our giving envelopes and drop them into Anne at the office on a Friday morning, even if only once a month or at the end of every quarter. Also, I've been investigating the possibility of electronic giving for missions. Adam will bring you more on that in the coming weeks. Secondly, I'd like to talk about our general working account. Last financial year, we had a surplus of $31,611. This surplus is before taking out expenses for our big maintenance projects, such as the painting of the church and the hall and various other things. There are two main reasons for this surplus. The first one is the departure of Daniel Avenel, which saved us 6 months of stipend and other ministry costs. Plus, it allowed us to rent the house at George Street. The second reason for our surplus is that last year we received $22,000 in government COVID-19 payments, although a small amount of this money was paid to Tinnicker as extra stipend. Thirdly, I'd like to talk about next year's budget. For budgeting purposes, I have assumed that we will not be able to find a new assistant minister in the current financial year. I've also assumed that we will not be eligible for government COVID-19 payments after September. Both of these assumptions may be wrong. With these assumptions, I have come up with a budgeted surplus for this financial year of about $52,000. This may seem a lot, but if we do manage to find a new assistant minister, and with increased ministry costs this year, it could very easily turn into a loss. Quickly, a note about electronic giving. It truly has been a blessing from God, especially in these trying times. If you have embraced it, thank you. If you have not, please consider giving this way. You don't even need a computer, just see your bank. Finally, I'd like to say that our giving should be motivated by our love for God, and as such, it becomes an act of worship to God. That is why it's anonymous. It's a relational thing between us and God. The current pandemic will not be with us forever, and God will raise up a new minister, a new assistant minister, in his time. We need to continue to give as if this has already happened, so that when it does, we are ready. Having said that, I am always amazed at the generosity of our church family. It really does reflect well about our love for God, and it certainly makes my job as treasurer so much easier. God will be generous to us as we are generous toward him. I wish you every blessing.
As always, a really big thank you to Bill Noonan for being an excellent treasurer. He does a great job, and he's deeply passionate about our well-being, not only financially but spiritually as well, and that comes out in his work, and we give much thanks for Bill. So thanks, mate. A few other things to share with you. The Bishop gave Parish Council notice on the 5th of August that formal notice of his intention to pursue boundary changes for our parish. He would like the boundary change really involves the incorporation of Ashford, Dulungra and Grarman, that which was a special district, or is a special district, is to be incorporated into the Inverell parish. That's the boundary. Parish Council have been given notice. They'll be discussing that at Parish Council when we meet next, early September, and they will respond. If you've got any thoughts on that, we'd be glad to hear from you, or any questions about that. But it basically means that Ashford, Dulungra and Grarman will become part of the Inverell parish if it goes through DC. That's where we're at, and so we're being invited to contribute to that discussion. Hope it makes sense. Any questions? Ask and pray. Pray lots. You might be pleased to know the kitchen is being installed. There have been tradesmen here all week. There'll be tradesmen here tomorrow. So don't rush and come and have a look just yet. It's not finished, but it's exciting that progress is being made. So how can we do Sundays better as a church family? We're still not offering Sunday church services from the building, but if we're committed to gathering, we can still gather, and we've talked a lot about this. What we'd like to know from you is, firstly, if you're determined to be a lock-in and you don't want to gather, please let us know. Flick us an email. There's no judgment on our part. We just want to know where people are at. There may be people willing to open their homes that we're not aware of. If you have the technology to open your home to a number of people, we'd love to hear from you, and the willingness to be hospitable on a Sunday morning to watch the YouTube service and have a handful of people do that. Terrific. Now, we'd love to hear from you. What we're keen on is, for this season, is instead of people spreading themselves out thinly and broadly, instead of doing the social butterfly thing, we think this is a season for investing in smaller, deeper relationships. So instead of being thin and broad, we're looking to be deep and committed to the one group on a Sunday morning. You want to do the social butterfly, there are plenty of time during the week to do that. We're not against that. But in the terms of our Sunday gatherings, I think we're trying to capture what we do on a Sunday, where people are consistent, predictable, are committed to that one gathering, but we'd like to see them happen in a number of gatherings where you commit to that group week in, week out, where the people in that group can love you and care for you and look out for you. That's a frustration Tinica and I have at the moment. Laying that beautiful thing of just laying eyes on people, we're not able to do. And so we're asking other people, well, will you open your home, be hospitable, do the YouTube service with people, do a home church with people, lay eyes on people, so that then we can know our mob are being cared for and looked after. Because we are committed to the gathering of God's people, well, this is a way we can do that. So if you can play your part, let us know. If you want to be part of a gathering, let us know. Just by way of encouragement, the Whigs have been doing a tremendous job for many, many weeks, gathering in their home, entertaining a handful of people. And we know who goes there. We know they've got people like the Bucklands covered. Barry and Ann, we know they've got people like the Floods covered, and others as well as they open up their home. And I know others are doing that as well. And so let's get that going, and let's be predictable with it, and committed to that, and consistent, so that we're better equipped to look after each other and look out for each other, and have our eyes on people, our chickens, so to speak. All right, so smaller, deeper relationships fostered over the long term. That's the goal. All right, that's all from me. Thanks for listening. Oh, Parable of the Shrewd Manager this week, Luke chapter 16. And once you've read that, have a read of the Parable of the Lost Son just prior. And you'll hear from chapter 16 on Sunday. And I look forward to seeing you then. Bye.